everybody, this is Amy from Chateau de Rosieres, and this week I want to show you a room that we redid between 2 and 4 years ago. It took a while and some dreadful things have happened to it in the meantime. I mean, I say dreadful, a lot of it is my children and I can't really get away with calling them dreadful, but they certainly do make, well, they have quite an impact on a space. So when you last saw this room, it was the beautiful reveal that Adonis filmed, and it was going to be our room and the kids' room, because at that time they were still little enough that they slept in the same room as us. But since that time, we've moved into the room that was the kind of dressing room, and they have this room all to themselves, sort of. Now, what reveals on YouTube or TV or anything don't show you is all the stuff that hasn't been finished. So that can be little bits and pieces that you don't really see but make a big difference if you're actually going to live in the space. And that's usually because you put pressure on yourself to show everybody the finished product. And also life changes and things don't stay the same, and that's great. In here we've kind of adapted to the space with a few things like a bookshelf, and we now have a sort of sofa daybed situation in here, which was in the other room, but we find it really useful for, you know, if the kids are having a bad night and one of us has to stay in with them, or if they have a friend coming to stay, like tonight, we can make it into a bed. Otherwise, it's just a really nice place where we read stories to them. We also brought up this fantastic doll's house that I found in a charity shop in the UK, that somebody had hand built, and it was getting a bit subsumed in the chaos downstairs, but at the same time they play with it all the time, so we didn't want to put it in the upstairs Chateau playroom, so we brought it up here. And it's the Easter holidays at the moment, and Juliette has been playing with it all day, and Clement loves it as well, so it's great fun. So whilst it's a perfectly functioning bedroom, and I think it's still really lovely, there are just those things that we miss to make it really homely and also really comfortable for the kids. So I've decided to launch something very special. I'm going to launch an operation, and this is not going to be a bad operation with a horrible name. This is going to be Operation Make It Magical. So you've already seen the start of this project, which is the bed that I'm making for Clement, and I'm actually sort of stood here going round and round in circles trying to work out actually where it's going to go in this room. So I need to have a real think about the furniture placement and also what furniture's in here. For example, we've got this beautiful sofa and chair set that looked lovely when we first redid it, but we've had to move them because of the dollhouse, and actually they just become a place where we dump clothes. The kids don't really use it, so maybe I need to rethink that space. We're also missing some stuff, practicality wise. These are the kids' drawers. They have one drawer each, and then sort of bathroom stuff in there. But there's nowhere to hang their stuff. So her dresses, for example, end up over here. Look how cute. This was mine when I was little. She's almost too big for it now. Yeah, I need something to hang their clothes from. Also, I've got Clement's bed over here. I don't think I ever showed you the problem with this. It's a really cute bed, but underneath, under them, we got these natural mattresses. We've had to put all these blankets because it's a very old base and it's just got a couple of planks. And the poor boy, I once got in there as a joke with him, and you can just feel these bars. It's so uncomfortable. So I'm really motivated to sort his bed out. Hers is really cool for the moment, and she still really likes it, and she can get in and out of it. And this is where my inspiration for sort of shaping and design came from for the bunk bed. Now this is a kid's room, I just have to think of some things. One of the biggest things for my sanity, can you guess? Curtains. Because all winter, Not a problem. Sun rises after they get up in the morning. Summertime, they're up at the crack of dawn. So I need some curtains. One of the reasons I've hesitated here is because in France you often close shutters in order to shut the light out, and then you get some air coming through with it. But we haven't got shutters, and I feel like it's going to be a long time until we do. We need curtains, and what I struggle with is knowing where to put those curtains, because if I put them in front of this block here, the sort of the opening, they become very dominant and you lose that beautiful effect, this warm stone feeling, because even when they're open, they're going to be hiding that and they become very strong features in the room. Another option is roller blinds, but I find that a bit awkward for opening and closing. I don't find them very beautiful when they're closed. So Margot and I have been doing a lot of discussion about how we might fit curtain rails within this area and have just quite small curtains. All to come. What else is there in this room? Oh, there are no lampshades on those lamps on the walls, and they just look awful. That drives me a bit nuts. Also, we have these pictures lying around that I brought in here to hang on the walls. And we've never hung on the walls, and part of that's because I haven't really sorted the furniture out. So I don't know how many of you have ever done a renovation or even just moved into a new house and you think, right, I'll do that one day, but nothing ever comes to the top of your list because they're not urgent, but they make such a difference when you do them. So my project at the moment is to just deal with those things. So this brings me to a really good point of some housekeeping for our YouTube channel. At the moment, it's springtime and we are very, very focused outdoors. There are huge projects going on. I don't even know if you can hear, there's welding, there's angle grinding. Yes, it is the project for the giant greenhouse. And that's being covered on our other channel, The Lost Gardens of Chateau de Rosieres. And because Marc and all the guys are focused on that, Margot's filming that, I am, especially for the moment with the 2-week holiday, looking after the kids, and they have an interest that waxes and wanes, shall we say, in being around me doing my woodwork. So there's a lot of outdoor stuff going on, and I don't want to just be filming random stuff for you in order to have a video. So what we're going to do for the moment is we'll alternate weeks with the garden channel. So Thursdays, you will always have a video from us, unless something terrible happens. But it will be from week to week, one channel or the other. So Lost Gardens of Chateau de Rosieres one Thursday, Chronicles of Chateau de Rosieres the other Thursday. So you get all sorts of diversity in it. You'll see what's going on outdoors and what's going on indoors. That way, my snail's pace in building things like the bed or doing any of this stuff here will be way less boring for you, because I'll be able to show you 2 weeks progress in one go. Because I don't get a lot done, to be quite honest. It also gives me a chance at the moment to do something else that a lot of you have been asking for, which is updated tours of our renovations that we've already done, things that we're part of the way through, and explaining it. We're always being asked about, you know, what does this room like? Can we see this one? What happened with that project? And especially given we had a bit of a break, I think this is a great chance for me to do that. So what I'd love you to do is comment below on any of the projects you've ever seen us do, which projects you would like updates on, or just a tour, or something I maybe never showed you. And don't hesitate to go back and look at some of them. I love it at the moment. We've got a new viewer who is clearly watching all of our videos from start to finish, and one of my favorite things is checking the comments section every day, because she, I believe her name's Donna, is commenting on every video that she watches, and it gives me such a kick to go back and see, oh, Juliette's just been born, or something like that, and she's going all the way through. So I absolutely love that. So if you do watch an old video, please comment on it, because I love reading that, and I love knowing that the work I did in the past is still being enjoyed. But now I come to the serious point. I know, thumbnail, destroyed, this room has been destroyed. Well, it actually has been, and not just by my children. Come with me. Come with me to my beautiful bathroom. Come. Just hold on a minute. Oh, I should have tidied that up first, shouldn't I? Right.
Keep that in.
Yeah. Look down there. Look beside the toilet. Look at that. Here, I'll take it for you. Look at what happened. Oh no. Yes, this video should have been called Beetles Ate My House. Because you remember all this beautiful panelling we put in, and Michael drew all this and painted it all. And this we bought, this we used our own wood, and we didn't treat it. We were just hurried, we had tiny children, we had a small baby. We didn't treat it with insect repellent. You don't call it insect repellent, what do you call it? Anti-insect stuff. And that means that the Capricorn beetle laid its little eggs in some of these planks. And those little eggs hatched out. And at night we hear like we do downstairs in the big beams. And they take about 5 years growing inside there. It's very distressing because I can just hear them. Apparently it's the sound of old buildings in France. Once they've hatched out and gone, they don't come back. It's not like woodworm or termites or something like that. So it's quite good in that sense. What's not good is that they get to about that big. So they're going to do a lot of damage. So when I first heard that, I started scraping away at that bit down there. And I found all these maggoty things and I got rid of them. But it also, they're eating it from the inside. So I've been going around and drilling holes in the ones that I hear the noise from, and then pouring the insecticide in. And this one seems to have worked. I've not heard any noises since, but you can see the damage it's done. So I need to do some wood filling and redoing. That was a very, very sad moment, that. I mean, in the global scheme of things, clearly not the most tragic thing going on right now, but when you've put a lot of effort into something, it's quite disheartening. Oh, and let me take you back to the bathroom. Sorry, this is a disjointed tour. The bathroom is another thing that is driving me absolutely nuts. I love this bathroom. I think it's incredibly beautiful. It is also the least practical bathroom I've ever come across in my life because we didn't finish it. What did we not finish? Oh yes, we don't have a shower curtain. So when you have a shower, a lot of that water ends up on the floor, and then for some reason I don't fully understand, it goes under the wall, through the ceiling, and pours onto people having their breakfast. So not ideal. Basically I have about one shower every 3 months at the moment because it's too annoying. So, I mean, I have baths, obviously. The big obstacle is that, and again, I don't fully know why. There were a lot of interruptions. I think all the COVID stuff happened when we were first installing the bathrooms, so we couldn't have people coming and work here. Anyway, the big bar that's supposed to hang around the ceiling has to be screwed into the beams, not the plasterboard. So we have to cut into our beautiful ceiling and screw it in there. So it's a big job just to hang a curtain rail. One thing I can do though in the meantime is I want to find something to block the water from going under the edge. I feel like that is manageable. So a couple of other things. One of them's quite funny but also drives me nuts. We have these little creatures called loirs who come into buildings, and they have been a real problem in here, and they hibernate. Now I'm very hopeful because it's warm at the moment and I haven't heard anything. They may have moved out, but they, especially in here, because this was one big room and we divided it up with plasterboard divisions, they've been living in between them, and we can hear them. They have fights at night and stuff. And one night I came in here and I looked up, and there's one area where there's a spotlight missing, and there was just a little face poking down out of it. I thought, oh, you little rascals. And so I shove up bits of cotton wool with peppermint oil and things, and that's all I can do. But we need to still install another spotlight and also the extractor pipe thing. We think they were inverted, so we need to look into that it was badly installed because there's no light above the mirror. Just another little minor thing. Also, I never grouted my beautiful tiles. Don't look at how dirty they are. And the final thing that I feel like also I can take control of is that we have no really suitable storage in here. So I put in this little bedside table, which is very cute, but totally impractical. And we end up just with bottles strewn everywhere and especially the kids' toys. So Operation Make It Magical is about focusing on the kids, and I want them to know where their toys are for playing in the bath. They've got these beautiful things like this little sailing boat that get submerged under other things, and they don't play with them as much as they would like. So what I would like to do with my new career as a woodworker is build some shelves there that I could put things on. So I think I need to make a list. I mean, I'm talking today about a lot of the things that aren't working in here. I should really emphasize that this room brings me so much joy, and so many of the little touches that we did I absolutely love, like the lantern in the niche. I love the light fitting in here. I love even the decoration we put in some of the little areas. And I really love this set of shelves that Marc did for the kids. But there are a few things that are a little bit impractical amongst those. So we have a real problem of cold up here in the winter. There are so many drafts, and one of the biggest ones is here. I thought they had closed up the old chimney here. This is no longer used. But given the wind that goes up there when it's windy outside, pretty sure they haven't. Also, all the dust and the grime that's coming down is getting on the books, and it's old soot and grit and things. There's possibly pigeons nesting up there, I'm not sure. It doesn't go outside the building, but it still goes up into the roof space here. So I need to take the whole lot out with somebody who doesn't scream when they see a spider. And then I need to shove wool or rock wool up there to get rid of that heat loss. Also, that beautiful bit that I plastered way back when my little girl was a baby, that is a huge heat loss, and I want to fill that up with rock wool, and because it makes the wall very thin there, and put something pretty there. It's a feature, it's an old feature, if you remember, it's the old potager. It's where they used to cook their food or reheat their food with the embers from the fire. So it's a beautiful old feature, but it's got to be practical. And the last thing is, we've got no door handles. I mean, not just no locks, like a lot of people. We've got no door handles. We can't close the doors. They all spring open. So that makes it very cold as well. I mean, the front door for here is a whole other story. It just opens by itself and we have the elements coming in, but we'll leave that for another week. But the actual bedroom and bathroom have no handles. I really want handles on my doors, but I've got to be realistic with Marc out there doing huge amounts of work, what I can achieve. I'm going to try and rope in Maxime, who works with us, to do some bits and pieces, and I'm going to try and do as much as I can. And I really hope that you're going to enjoy Project Make It Magical, which will include the marvellous 4-poster bunk bed that I'm making. Don't forget, coming up next is a Lost Gardens of Chateau de Rosieres video, and then as of next week it will just be Lost Gardens, the week after will be Chateau, the week after that Gardens, the week after that Chateau. I'm sure you can guess how it's going to go after that. It would really help us if you could like the videos, subscribe to the channels, hype the videos, sing Chateau de Rosieres whilst jumping around, hopping on one leg. I believe that's the latest thing that would help. That's not true. anything you feel like you can do, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. The reason I ask is because all of that helps YouTube know that people like watching our channel, and it starts to push it out to more people. The more people that watch, the more ad revenue we get, which means that we could hopefully employ Adonis again to do some filming and editing, because Margot is brilliant at this, but she's also working on a whole load of other projects for us, which we're going to introduce you to soon. And it's all getting a bit much for us all. So it'd be great if you could support us in that way. I think I've said everything, haven't I, Margot?
I think so, perhaps.
Did you know, I didn't tidy this up today, but all of the little animals are in different places because Juliette was following me around saying, Mummy, what do cats eat rabbits? Well, sometimes, darling. What about big rabbits? Well, I'm not sure. What about foxes? Do they eat rabbits? Well, yes. What about rabbits as big as me? Well, maybe not. What about guinea pigs and bears? And after a while, I had a look and she's been grouping her toy animals according to food, what predators will eat which prey. And she's very precise, so she even wanted to know who would win in a fight between a sun bear and a polar bear.
That is so cute.
I'm not going to clear up that chaos. I think it's beautiful.
That is creative.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hop on one leg, and we'll see you again in a few minutes and then again next week.